What is up, real estate rock stars? This is Christina Leavenworth out of Pensacola, Florida, and I am so excited about our guest, Brett Henry. He moved from Canada to the Dominican Republic 6 years ago and now has one of the top brokerages there. And he really is living the dream. He moved somewhere where things cost a whole lot less, so essentially 10x his life just by moving. And he's going to tell us how he did it and how he can help your clients do it and make a whole lot of money along the way. Okay, real estate rock stars, we are joined with Brett Henry, and I am so excited about this interview. He has so many just knowledge bombs of just awesomeness he's going to share with us about some great stuff he's doing. He is located in the Dominican Republic. So, Brett, let's just start off. Tell us about who you are.
So, you know what? I moved down here. I own properties down here about 20 years ago. I finally made the big step to live down here around 6 years ago. I opened up a brokerage down here called relocating.com. Reason I did it is because I really wanted to focus on the North American buyers and the European buyers, and try and bring a little bit of that experience down to them while buying in the Dominican Republic. So yeah, we started up about 6 years ago.
So, where are you originally from?
So I'm from a town in northern Saskatchewan, Canada called Prince Albert. So this was very, very advantageous for me to move down here to get out of the cold.
So, how did you even first find this area in the Dominican Republic? Tell me about your journey to get there.
So it's actually a little interesting story. I'll make it quick, but the way it boils down to is one of my business partners that I'm involved in a hotel with got married here 20 years ago. And after he got married here, he went back home. He ended up getting a little ill, and he sold all his properties in Canada. And he called me one day and he just said, "Hey, Brett, do you remember that town I got married in?" And I said, "Yes, Cabarete, Dominican Republic." And he's like, "Yeah, I moved the family down here, and I'm looking at some property down here right now. And I'm just wondering if you'd like to get involved." And I said, "What are you looking at?" And he goes, "Well, I'm looking at a bar hotel down here." And I said, "Well, no, I'm busy. I have other bars. I have other hotels. I have things that I'm working on up here." And he said, "Well, it's too late. I already bought it and I need to borrow some money." So, so I said, "Okay, fine." But what it was probably the best decision I ever made in my life, because it allowed me to learn about this country over the span of 20 years. And when I actually moved here, I hit the ground running. I already knew a lot of the people, and it was a very, very easy transition because of it. And yeah, it was one of those hit it out of the park it's like, you know what it was? It was like taking a slice on a golf course, hitting a tree, and then it ending up on the green. That's what it was. So it was a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's just kind of first start back to when did you get into real estate and how did you get into real estate?
So real estate for me had been part of my life since I was 18 years old. I bought my first rental property at 18, which was a basement suite. Flipped that property at 19, ended up buying a couple more properties, got into construction. I had a residential construction company. We did commercial construction as well. So I got into that. Then I got into creating software, property management software. So did a little bit of that. And then when I moved down here, I was going to retire. I was able to, put enough away that I could retire. And I just seen a gap in the market down here and really enjoyed real estate. So I thought, well, why don't I do that? And then I can share this with friends, family. And then it kind of grew from there. And we went from, an average size real estate company to one of the largest real estate companies on the North Coast.
And forgive my ignorance here, but most people in the Dominican Republic, do they speak Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish is the native language here, so most people do it. But in the Cabarete Sosúa area, where I focus a lot of my time,
Yeah.
There's a large concentration of expats here, and you can get around quite easy with English.
But still, you're moving to a foreign place from Canada, like as far apart as you can get, with a whole new language. And you're like, I'm going to start a brokerage. I'm going to do real estate in a different country. That does not sound like an easy feat.
You know what? The people down here are so nice and so accommodating, and the country is just really. It's just really easy to do business down here. A lot of people like it's one of those undiscovered gems that's in front of your face, right? It's been sitting here the whole time. And I know, last year was our best year for tourism. I think we had 11 million people come to the island last year, but a lot of people don't know about it. It's the second largest landmass in the Caribbean. There's two countries on the island because the island is called Hispaniola. So there is Haiti, and Haiti is Haiti. I'm not going to say anything good, bad, or indifferent about it. But the Dominican Republic, out of the 26 Caribbean countries, is always number one from every facet: lifestyle, business, self-sufficiency. Like we have one of the most successful gold mines in the world on this island. We have the largest mountain range next to the Rocky Mountains. We have peaks that are 10,000 feet, so it can get snowy sometimes up there, but not a lot. But we still we have a large diversity of climates here. We go from desert to mountaintop, and we have the coastlines, which go from where we are on the north coast that has some of the best wind and surfing in the Caribbean, to areas like Punta Cana, which have white sand beaches as far as the eye can see. And then we have all the valleys and everything in between. And when people think like, is this a big country? Is it a small country? To put it into perspective, a buddy of mine the other day told me that, the landmass of the Dominican Republic is bigger than Belgium. And you don't really think about that when you're thinking about an island. So there's a lot of great space. But the people here are what make it, really special, because they're all they always just want to be out there to help you and things like that. And it's safe. I have a background also in policing. And this is probably one of the safest places that I've ever lived in my life.
So you've been there 6 years, and you now have the number one brokerage in the country. And so your main people you're getting, are they from North America? Tell me a little bit about your business.
So just to correct you, we're the biggest on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is large population wise. I mean, there's over 10 million people that live here. Santo Domingo has 6.5 million people.
Got it. Still, you're number one in your area. That's awesome.
We're number one in our area. We got our area crushed, and it's quite a large area.
So So let's talk about that. You moved there 6 years ago. You now have this massive brokerage. Tell me about your business today.
So business today is great. We focus a lot of our marketing efforts, and our clients come from the east coast of the United States and Canada. Reason being, I mean, there's about 144 million people that live on the East Coast. We're a 4-hour plane ride from any of the major centers: Toronto, New York, Charlotte, Miami. So we do a lot of business in those metropolitan areas.
And what is so attractive about the Dominican Republic for someone that lives in the Northeast or just anywhere on the East Coast of the U.S. to say, hey, this is where I want to invest?
Well, one, it's you're close enough to home. I mean, you're 4 hours away, but the big thing is lifestyle. You're coming down here to upgrade your lifestyle. If you live in the major centers and you were between the ages of 20 and 40 and you bought your home at that time, and now you're between the ages of 40 and 60, you've seen a significant increase in value in your home. These are the people that I talk to a lot. But the thing is a lot of the people that I speak to, and a lot of people that come down here, they're teachers, they're police officers, they're city workers, they're, blue collar workers, the majority of the population. And you're living in a home that might be worth $1 million, maybe $3 million that you bought for a couple $100,000 to $500,000. But you're not a millionaire unless you release those funds. This is what I talk to a lot about with my clients. And the big discussion is this: do you want to live in that home that's $1 million to $2 or $3 million, pay the taxes, pay the inflation, pay the cost of living in a place that, is enjoyable, but you're not enjoying your life? Or here's the option: we sell your home up there. We release those funds. We take that $1 million to $3 million. We come down to a place like the Dominican. You buy a condo or a house on the beach. You can be on the ocean every single day. It's going to cost you, $500 to $1 million, but you're going to have $1 million to $2 million that you can put into a bank account. Down here, the banks are paying anywhere from 10 to 13% in CDs and bonds that can be paid out monthly. So now you've really released your wealth. You owe no money. You're making, $10,000 to $20,000 a month on your, on that house sale. We're not touching your pension. You're on the beach every day. The cost of living when it comes to, food and activities and things like that is so much cheaper than back home. So now you're living that $1 million lifestyle because you relocated. You went from an area of high density, high inflation to an area of low inflation, a little bit more relaxed. I have a lot of clients that come down here and they say, well, I don't know what I like to do. I don't know what I want to do. And I say, well, here's what you do. You come down here and you earn money sitting on the beach, going golfing, going out to restaurants and relaxing. Take those funds that you've made or you've saved and go travel. Go to Europe for a month. Go back to the States. Go back to Canada. Rent a beautiful Airbnb. Go visit your family for a few months in the summertime. And then come back down and relax and earn money sitting on the beach, because that's what you can do. And that's very realistic to do.
And this is, for everyday folks. They were teachers, they were nurses. These aren't people that, had a startup and cashed out early. I think that's what's amazing about what you're doing.
Well, the thing is people look at people that cashed out on big businesses and stuff like that, and they sit there and go, oh, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. When really you're sitting on a war chest of money. If you bought your house and you've gotten to the point where maybe it's paid off, it's about upgrading your life and your lifestyle, not so much like doing those types of things up in North America. It's hard because to get to that house next door, it's $200,000, $500,000 more. That's payments of X amount of dollars per month. We've been brainwashed in North America to not live by, how much we actually have. It's how much can we pay monthly. And then every month we're looking at those bills and we're like, oh, are we going to make it? What do we have? And we're budgeting and that's fine. I mean, the majority of people, the 95% of people are going to do that. But the 5% who realize like, I can be rich and I can live a rich lifestyle and it's in their fingertips. That's what I can show you. That's what I can do for you.
And
it's everyone can do it.
They really don't have to do anything other than move. Like they don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just moving. And we talk a lot about the golden handcuffs so many sellers are in, where they are sitting in this home they've been in forever. But if they sell it to live in something equal, they're paying 3 times the cost, 4 times the cost, and they're in the same situation. So I have a question. I know a lot of my friends that listen to this. It's like, hey, is this legal? Can me as an American just go and move to the Dominican Republic and do this? Talk about that.
Absolutely, 100%. So the Dominican Republic actually has very, very good legal framework for foreign investment. So as a foreigner buying in the Dominican Republic, you actually have the same rights as a naturalized Dominican when it comes to owning properties and banking. So when you come down here, you own title, you have, everything is in your name. It's electronic. We actually do our surveys, using GPS. We don't have the PIN systems. We're a little more advanced actually than the Canadian and American systems. It's hard for us to believe up there because, we always think that we're ahead of everyone, right? On stuff, but we're really not. If you think about like certain geographical locations that never had dial-up phones, but now everyone has a cell phone. Okay. And so they kind of skipped a generation. Well, it's kind of like the same down here is that in 2007, they went to using like geolocation through GPS to pin the locations. Everything is done electronically. Your titles are all, saved like they should be. It's very organized, in that sense. There are always old titles and things that haven't been transferred over. But if you use a responsible real estate agent and real estate agency down here, you're going to do very well.
But whenever I run, that was one of the podcasts I would listen to on my rotation. And so that's how I really got started with Real Estate Rockstars and was interested in the mastermind. Dang, I've got so much value out of the podcast that I obviously wanted to be there, and I've gone every year since.
Hey, you're going to come out here and we're going to teach you about some lead gen. And we do plenty of that stuff. But what really happens is people leave with their lives changed. Listeners, if you are thinking about coming out, find me on Instagram. I've got links and stuff on there. You can DM me for info. It's at Aaron Amuchastegui. Or you can go to our website, realestaterockstarsmastermind.com. We've got 2 options for ticket. This week is $900 for a single ticket. Or you can do a payment plan where you do like 4 payments of $250. So you can lock in a ticket. So guys, if you're out there, you think, man, I wish I would have gone to that. That's something that I need next year. I know it's hard to buy something like 10 months ahead of time. Be like, why would I do that? Why can I think so far ahead? But hopefully you can be a little inspired. Do it this way.
It's super interesting. So, like, how many families a year are doing this? Is there any data showing how many people from North America are moving to the Dominican Republic?
You know what? I don't know that number offhand. I can say through my own company that we've moved thousands of families down here already.
Wow.
A lot of people during COVID came down because during the whole COVID pandemic, the government here is a little more, I wouldn't say forward thinking, but they're more dynamic because it's a smaller country, so they can move a little bit quicker. They can make decisions a little bit quicker. So we opened up a lot sooner than other places. Yeah.
So if you're over there, it's not like you have 90 days to come back to the US and put your feet in American soil. There's no rules like that, or there are rules, but they don't really care.
I mean, there's probably rules from the US and Canada when it comes to, healthcare and things like that, or your insurances. But down here, no, there is like a levy that you have to pay after 90 days. Like say you're here over X amount of days. Okay. I believe it's 30 days to 90 days. It's like 4,000 pesos that you have to pay when you leave at the airport. That's like your tax of staying on the island. And then it just kind of incrementally goes up, but it's such a nominal fee, and it's not a bad thing to pay, right? Like when you're staying in a country for 6 months or a year and you're going to leave and it's going to cost you $200 or $300 in a tax to stay. It's really nominal.
Not at all. So no, it's so fascinating, all of it. So that $500,000 house that is on the water, like, tell me about it. How big is it? Like, paint that picture for me.
Okay, so really, it all depends on where you are, but you're going to get, let's say for $500,000, you're going to get you could be in a community. So there's a few really nice communities in the area here that I enjoy, but at $500,000, you're getting a 3 to 4 bedroom home with a swimming pool, with a bar, with, in a gated, secured community with probably a few amenities like a water park and a gym and things of that nature. Your HOA fees are going to be around, anywhere from $200 to $300. So your total bills will be around, let's say $600 a month, but that will include your, person who's doing your lawn care, your maid,
Wow.
your water,
you get a maid?
your garbage.
You get a maid for that?
Everyone has a maid down here. Yeah.
Wow. That is insane.
Yeah.
So when you first started there and you're like, I have this idea, I found this amazing land of where everyone should live. How did you first start to grow your business? Was it word of mouth, just telling all your friends, or did you have a calculated marketing strategy?
So I have the greatest business partner that ever lived. Okay. So my business partner he's amazing. We put together a marketing team, a little bit of a marketing team, and we decided we need to focus on people we know and the areas that we do know. So that's what we did. We put together a strategic plan to focus on the East Coast of North America at first, and target anyone who was kind of interested in wanting to relocate and improve their lifestyle. Like living down here, we have this is my podcast studio. So we have podcasts, and we did a lot of Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, mostly YouTube and Instagram was our our biggest niche that we looked at. And in our data that we were putting out, we were doing a lot of lifestyle stuff more than the actual villas, because a person needs to come and experience it, and they need to know what they're going to do. One thing that I want to touch on with you is one of the questions that we get a lot is, how is the healthcare? How, am I going to survive? What happens if, things go wrong? What's the insurance like? So insurance down here is very affordable. It's about $50 a month. That gets you into some of the, better hospitals down here. It gets you flown back home. Dentistry. You got to remember, everything is built, when it comes to healthcare, it's built for the local population. And the local population, the average wage is quite low compared to what we would deem a good wage back home. So, like, for instance, my girlfriend needed a post and an implant put into her for a tooth, right? It was going to cost around 5,800 euros back in the UK. And we got it done here with a very good dentist for about $800. One of my clients was going to get veneers done back in Texas. It was going to cost around $75,000 for the veneers and all the work that he needed done. And it was the same dentist office that did it here, and they did it for $19,000. So
that's significant.
And there's these stories all the time.
That's
it's
really
very significant.
And going out to dinner or something, and if you were to go into a nice dinner, you and your girlfriend, and you maybe have some wine, you have a steak, what does the bill look like?
You know what? It's a beautiful thing down here. It's I like to compare it to Las Vegas when I talk to people. Like, you can be on the Strip or you can be on Fremont Street.
Okay.
Right? And when you first move down here, you on the beach and stuff, it's pretty relative to back home.
Okay.
If you're going to go out, but there's some really nice restaurants. But the minute you live down here and you know where to go and how to be there and feel comfortable, you're getting meals for $5,
wow,
$10.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The thing is we have ample food down here. Everywhere you go, you're going to find an avocado tree, and you want an avocado, just pick it.
Wow.
You want mangoes, they're sitting in the trees. The bananas are there. Like, it's quite impressive. A lot of things that, like, a lot of reasons with the food is we have 2 to 3 growing seasons down here. So we're always producing food. There's always more food coming. A really good friend of mine had a party the other day, and he wanted tuna, for the party. And we just waved down a boat that was out kind of just off the shore. And it was a fishing boat. He pulled in. We asked him what he caught that day. And sure enough, he had a few mahi-mahi and a tuna. It was about a 26-pound tuna. And we gave him $100, and he gave us the tuna.
Wow. I think everyone is going to be following your Instagram, and we're going to live vicariously through you, being like, yeah, you just flag down a guy on a boat and you get a tuna. And then I went to my friends. That sounds amazing. So I do have a question. It sounds like your niche really is cash buyers, people that have their homes paid off and they can pay cash there. If somebody did want to get some sort of loan there, is that a more complicated process?
Yeah. So, like, down here, this is a good topic to bring up. When we talk about, like, inflation and how, like, property values move down here, it moves a little bit slower because borrowing money down here is a little harder than back home. You got to have at least 30% down. The banks are doing like 8.5% up to like 11% for for your mortgages and things like that. There are options with owner financing. So there's a lot of owner financing that happens down here, but cash is king down here. Most people that come down are going to be cash buyers, and it really helps out with everything because everyone owns their property here for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the greater majority. So when there is, financial issues that are happening everywhere else in the world, we're a global hub. We're kind of like a place where you can, like a piggy bank. You can land bank down here. You can bring a bunch of money here. The value of the property is going to go up, but it's not going to go up significantly, but it's not going to go down. I've yet to see property values go down significantly.
Got it. So for someone that was interested in possibly doing this, or if we have clients, and I've heard it before, where they go, it's just my dream. They often say, oh, I'm going to just move to the Philippines and live like a king. Or we hear things like that. They can go to the Dominican Republic, way closer, and live like a king. Is it usually video tours with you and your team, or do people typically just make a trip of it and start looking then?
My recommendation for everyone is it's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Okay.
I really like when people want to make the move and decide to make the move, come down here, rent an Airbnb, we'll go look around, let me show you everything that there is, go back home, discuss it, come back down, and then you have a little bit of a better idea of what you're looking at and where you're going to be, because the areas down here are so diverse. Within a mile or two from where you are, we have places that are tens of millions of dollars to places that are 200,000 to 500,000, and they're all great.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are on the beach, and some of them are in the hills. Some of them are in the town. Some of them are in smaller communities. So it's really good for someone who's listening or someone who's really interested in doing this to really just come down, meet my team, talk to us, come in. Like I said, we can set you up with good places to stay, and really just feel the place first.
It definitely sounds like that island vibe, even in real estate. Not like multiple offers for your firstborn child. It's like, no, man, go home. Think on it. We got you.
No.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's what this is like when I talk to people, and when my company talks to people, and when my agents talk to people, it's about a lifestyle change. It's about taking you from the hustle and bustle and from the lifestyle that you're used to, bringing you down to relax a little bit, to get used to more of a tranquil type of lifestyle, and to start enjoying life again, and to quit worrying about the money issues and the got to get here, got to get there. It's hard. It probably takes about 6 months for someone to like wind down. And it sounds funny because everyone's like, "Well, I just want to relax," and you're stressing yourself to learn to relax, and it takes about 6 months for people to get there. But that's really the key, is to come find out what you want to do, how you want to do it, and take a trip. And like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Do not rush into any real estate transaction. I don't care if you're in the States or here or in Canada or anywhere. Take your time, really enjoy it, because this is a lifestyle purchase. So my 3 pillars for investing down here are: 1, will the property appreciate, right? Which is basic. 2, is there a rental possibility for that property? Because you never know. And then 3, do we have an exit strategy? So before you ever buy any foreign property, we need to look at all 3 of these things. And exit strategy being the biggest thing, because you never know. You might come down here and enjoy it for a year, and maybe you don't like it and you need to go home. And if you don't buy a property that we know that we can turn around and sell, that's not a good thing. So buying to do that, because the only thing in life that you have that you really own is your time, and your time is a value of money. And the only reason you have money is because you gave up some of that time for money. So when we look at investing, we need to look at it like a time machine. We need to win back some time. We need to make money. Doesn't matter. Like I said, it's about lifestyle, but it's also about protecting that time, which is your money, which is your, which is the most important thing in life, right?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add? This has been awesome.
No, I just, I'm really happy, and I'm thankful that you wanted to chat, and hopefully some of your listeners see maybe some of the potential and reach out to me and reach out to my team. And I, if you get a chance, go on our Instagram page or come to our website if you want to learn more about real estate in the Dominican Republic. And our website is realtordr.com. Our Instagram, which is full of fun little tidbits, is realtordr.com.
Okay.
DOT. And so other than that, no, I think it's a good option. And
So one more question, like real estate in America has been weird with interest rates and just everything we had going on with an election, that some people had really tough years last year while other people did okay. How was it overall there?
we're steady as she goes. It's because we're an international market. When things are difficult in the United States, like election years are really great for us because we're pretty finicky in the US and in Canada, right? Like last elections, everyone said, if so and so wins, I'm moving away. So all of a sudden we get a bunch of people from one side. Then the next year, but really what happens is the people that come down here, they're coming down here all for the same reason. It isn't to flee Canada or flee the United States. It's to improve their well-being and their sense of family and community. That's one thing I guess I could bring up, is that family down here is a big deal. We have a lot of really good schools down here. For anyone who has children, cool. when people say, "Oh, do we, are we gonna, is our kid gonna be able to learn?" We have Montessori schools. Oh. We also have more dedicated private schools. So your kids are gonna go, like one of the schools, they go to school at like 8 a.m. Then they go surfing in the afternoon, and then they go and take their music lessons. You know what I mean? Like it's a different.
That sounds incredible.
It's just a different. Yeah, and I mean, to raise kids down here is it's just it's easier for parents because you have the nanny and the maid that are at home. So dinner's cooked for you when you come home. The house is clean, so you don't have to be doing that. You get to enjoy your children a little bit more. The kids can play soccer, baseball. There's horse riding. There's mountain biking, surfing, kiteboarding, windsurfing, golf. Golf memberships down here are $500 a year in this area. Yeah, it costs and this is funny. So like 6 beer, 4 water, and a round of golf with a caddy with a cart is, after you have your membership, is about $20.
Wow. I can't let my husband listen to this podcast because he is going to be looking at flights to the Dominican Republic, being like, our kid gets to surf every day. I get to golf every day. It really does sound like the dream. So this has been so awesome. And people definitely reach out to Brett Henry. I'm sure he works with referrals. When you have those people say, I'm moving to the Philippines to live like a king, send them to the Dominican Republic so they can hang out. But it has been such a joy talking to you, Brett.
No, it was great talking to you as well. And yeah, reach out to me. We do referrals. If you're a real estate agent, or if you're even if you're a very networked type of person, I love hearing from everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And we'll make sure to link all your info in the show notes. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. This is Christina Leavenworth out of Pensacola with Real Estate Rockstars, and we'll connect next time.